oh boy, did this week fly by. It's already a Thursday, and of course, you're watching Smell the Coffee with Diana Master and Aina Riza Kwayo. How you doing?
It's no wonder you're so excited.
I'm super excited.
So it's already Thursday.
It's already Thursday.
Yeah,
it's
my
gone
girl.
to the weekend.
Other days on Monday, welcome to Smell the
Welcome to
Coffee.
Smell the Coffee.
Yeah?
It's a Monday. Welcome.
What can we say?
What can we say?
What
You know
can
what I
we
realized?
do?
It's my birth week.
Hey,
I totally forgot.
You have not forgotten. There is no way you would
I
forget.
totally no, okay, I didn't
your
forget, but I
birth
wasn't
week.
like I'm gonna celebrate properly next week. I think because my birthday celebration is gonna be on Saturday. So I think maybe that's when I'm like, yeah,
In
it's
the
birth week.
birthday
In the birthday energy.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
Because this
vibes.
week I was just like
I thought you said you're too old to be celebrating. your
oh, that
birthday.
was a mistake. I thought my frontal lobe had fully developed. Turns out it
Ah.
hasn't because I can never not
Even when
celebrate
it
my
has
birthday.
developed, you must continue to celebrate
celebrate your
yourself
birthday.
in your
No,
birthday.
celebrate your birthday.
Somebody said, don't let what you want, what you're aspiring to become, hinder you from celebrating the moment, enjoying the moment, living in the
Yes.
present. Just
Yes.
because you want to be a billionaire doesn't mean you must
can't
not
have fun.
rejoice in your poverty. You can still
You
rejoice.
can still rejoice and
Yeah.
have fun because I think, you know, a lot of people say, oh, but why do you celebrate your birthday? You're just getting older. And it's like, yeah, exactly. That's the whole point of celebrating.
What's wrong with
There's so
getting
many-
older?
Exactly. And so many people have died before they even got to this age. So
Yes.
every year is a celebration because it's like another year, another trip around the sun.
And I think that if ageism is a thing that you really take into account when you reason, something is strictly wrong.
There's something is
Just because a
wrong with
person
you.
is young doesn't mean they can't achieve or they can't do certain things. Just because a person is old doesn't also mean otherwise.
Exactly.
Like age is just not a
Age
thing.
shouldn't be a factor.
Yeah, it's not a
Age
factor.
shouldn't be a factor. It shouldn't stop you from enjoying your life because, guys, there's so much seriousness already in life. So when you get the chance to celebrate, because again, your birthday comes once a year.
Yeah.
Well, if you're me, it's 7 days in a year, but you know. But those few days that you're celebrating your birthday, go all out.
Yeah.
Appreciate yourself. Celebrate yourself. It's not easy having come as far as you have come. You may feel like you're stagnant, but when you sit back and look back to all the things that you've managed to accomplish so far, you realize, oh my goodness.
People look at me and like, wow, we're so proud of you. You're doing so well. You are this and you're this. And I'm like, really? Am
Really?
I
I don't
all
feel
that?
like I'm-
I
yeah.
don't feel. Sometimes it's just a feeling. Sometimes because you have high expectations of yourself and you
Yes.
have these dreams and aspirations
You
to
forget.
take off, you forget what you've done. And I
Exactly.
think that's just the way we as human beings are wired, that if I achieved this gig today,
You're
tomorrow
already aiming for the next.
I'm on to. Yes, I appreciated maybe when I got the call that, hey, you got a job. Oh, we thank God.
But
Bye.
already you're thinking, okay, from here, what's next?
What's next? How
What's
can I
next?
get the next job?
I think we
Yeah.
have to learn to find joy in the journey instead of just focusing on the destination. Find joy in the journey because, again, once you get to a certain place, you realize that you missed these moments. You get that nostalgic feel. How many times have you sat, right, and been like, oh my goodness, remember that time? I can't believe I took that time for granted.
Yeah.
Because you are busy chasing the next best thing. We're not saying don't have ambitions and don't chase your goals. Yes, do that. But also take time to also just sit and remember that what you have now is what you prayed for at some point.
Recognized whomst you is.
Yes. And remember also that you are living in answered prayer. Like what you have now, at some point you prayed for that thing.
Yeah.
So I think that's one of the things that as human beings we need to learn to do. So I think that's our Thursday word of the day. Yeah, sometimes we can be woke girlies.
Yes. Smart girls are up.
Smart girlies are up and they are stuck. Anyway, we'll be taking a quick ad break and getting into our top stories when we come back.
Neopaints has established a 67-year Namibian legacy, creating personalized paint solutions that blend quality and innovation for the Namibian people. We pride ourselves in being a 100% Namibian-owned company, investing in our country and our people by employing and empowering true Namibians. With every brushstroke, Neopaints commits to our quality guarantee and always delivering a coat of excellence. At Neopaints, we always stay true to our country. We are as Namibian as you.
Starting off our top stories now, this may be old news to some of you, but there's some that haven't heard this. Well, Janet Jackson claims Kamala Harris is not black. Her dad's actually white. Janet Jackson's pushing a conspiracy theory about Kamala Harris's race, parroting claims Donald Trump made about the VP a couple of months ago, claiming she's not black. The music legend sat down for a chat with The Guardian when the interview asked her about the upcoming election and how she felt about possibly having a black woman in the White House. In response, Janet Jackson replies that she heard Kamala isn't actually black and instead she's Indian, a claim made during a disastrous conversation at the National Association of Black Journalists annual convention in July. When the interviewer tells Janet that Kamala is actually both black and Indian, she takes it a step further, adding, her father's white. That's what I was told. I mean, I haven't watched the news in a few days. I was told that they discovered her father was white. Janet goes on to say she thinks that there'll be mayhem no matter who ends up in the White House, implying she doesn't imagine a peaceful transition of power for this election. If you don't remember, back in July, Trump told a group of journalists that Harris turned black for political gain, claiming she'd focused solely on her Indian heritage up to that point. Worth noting, Harris's dad is a noted Jamaican-American economist, and Harris identifies as black. It's unclear where Jackson heard the rumor her father is white. TMZ say they reached out to Janet Jackson for clarification so far, but no word back.
You know, I've been watching a lot of skits on TikTok about Kamala or whatever you, however you pronounce her name. Kamala, about Mrs. Kamala.
Let's just call her Mrs. Harris.
Mrs. Harris, yeah, because it's disrespectful to mispronounce people's names.
Yeah.
So we do apologize, Mrs. Harris. We withdraw. Yeah. But moving on to what I was saying, is it raining?
Yes.
But nonetheless,
it's
so
raining.
weird.
It means good fortune is following me this year. How
Yes,
it's raining in my
goodness
birth
and
week.
mercy shall follow
receive.
me. But nonetheless, what I wanted to say is I've been watching a lot of skits about Mrs. Harris on TikTok. I just can't take her seriously. Because people always imitate her. And she apparently, her favorite word is care. Every time she has to say, for example, if she, you know, my name is Kamla, okay? And today we are here at NMH, okay? But I can't take her serious anymore. And I've started to follow her. I've grown so attached to her. I think she's published. She's a people's person. I think
that's what I was about to say. Like,
she's charismatic. Yes.
Her personality is basically what's making the younger generation like her more.
Yeah.
Because I think in a way she resonates with the youth.
Yes.
You understand? Like
she's like a cool auntie.
She's like a cool auntie.
Yeah, like she's the auntie would go and ask for a bride plate at the bride event.
You'd go ask her for more.
Yes. She's like warm and fuzzy.
Yeah. And I think she's that aunt that if you fall pregnant, you tell her first.
This is what's happening.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, I just love her. Shout out to her. I don't think whether she's black, Indian, white, pink, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Like she has a vision for the American people. Run with the vision, not the color of her skin.
But you see, that's the thing. A lot of people have this, I don't know, this prejudice towards mixed people. Because it's like, no, choose. Are you black or are you Indian? It's like, but I'm both. No, choose. Why should I?
But clearly she has chosen to be black. She says she identifies as black.
She identifies as black, but she also acknowledges her Indian roots and her Indian ancestry.
It's fine.
So my problem with people is people asking you to have to choose. Because it's like, literally, I am 50-50. My mom is Indian, my father is Jamaican, American. I cannot choose. But anyway, we digress.
Anyway, let's talk about Jay-Z, who is making big moves that could change the face of New York City. Yeah, so Jay-Z has really pledged to donate some money, and that money will go to the development of the New York City and the people that are living there. So the story is that the hip-hop legend and his Roc Nation team have announced plans to commit over 250 million in grants to the Hell's Kitchen community if they secure the bid to open a Caesars Palace Times Square casino, according to page 6. In a bold proposal, the Roc Nation-led group has promised to provide an initial 15 million to the local community with ongoing support tied to the casino's performance. Specifically, they plan to allocate regular grants which equal to 0.5% of the casino's earning, ensuring a steady stream of resources for the neighborhood. The Caesars Palace Times Square team isn't just talking the talk. They have already met with the residents of the iconic Manhattan Plaza, a well-known affordable housing complex for artists, to discuss the potential benefits of this massive project. So he wants to set up a casino. And he is saying that, you know, if I secure this bid, if I get this tender, I will give the people 250 million. I will invest back in the community. And he has already met up with the community members to discuss potential benefits, like what they would like and so forth and so on. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. You must always give back to the community. And if you are coming to set up a business in that community, it's only right that some of the proceedings of your business go to the community members.
Forgive me, because we've heard this from politicians before about all the things they'll do once they get in power. And then they get into power and then they forget.
Yeah.
Because, listen, giving back to the community is absolutely great, right? And I think Jay-Z has been doing more for the Black community. Yeah, he really has been. We will give him that. He's been doing great things for the Black community. But I don't know how to feel about this whole thing, because it's kind of like you're going to be making way more from your casino, and then it's sort of just like a once-off payment.
No, it's not once-off. He said he will give 250 million. That's like the first set sum.
Yeah.
And then, according to the casino's earnings, he will then disburse a 0.5%.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
annually
okay,
or
okay.
monthly. When
Or
the
whatever,
company
okay.
makes profit, then he will
if
also
it's like
share.
that, then great. Because for me, it's kind of like casinos make billions of dollars, you know. So just paying that first 250 million, it's like, okay, great. It's like a pacifier, like take this and shut up, you know. But at least if he's saying that every whatever, annually or monthly or whatever it is, he's still
according to the company's
earnings.
Yeah.
I think then that's totally great.
So if the company earns 15 billion that month, it's a 0.5%
back to the community.
Back to the community.
And you know
the
what?
community that has already received 250 million.
I honestly think however much you can give makes a difference.
Yeah.
It goes a long way. My mom always says, even if someone gives you $20, you are not going to pick up that $20 on the street.
And you also didn't have it in most cases.
So exactly.
Just be grateful.
Just be grateful. So I kudos to you, Jay-Z.
Shout out to you, Jay-Z. Okay.
Him and his wife are actually philanthropists, because they do try to give back to the community as much as they can.
I think we would all give if we had that kind of capacity.
That kind of capacity. I think people should take a page out of their books. Even with us, you know, how many of those clothes do you have that you don't wear anymore? You know, that are still in good condition.
But you don't give them.
You're just keeping them. They're just gathering dust in your closet.
Yeah.
You know, so it's not necessarily giving money. Give whatever you can, whatever you can afford.
Sometimes it's just giving love and giving kindness.
Sometimes just giving love. Exactly. Whatever it is that you can. And also, please, when you help the poor, leave the camera at home.
Yeah.
This thing of trying to be like, this one looks particularly hungry, let me take a picture next to that kid. Please don't.
Yeah.
Imagine how you would feel having someone like document your life at its worst, being like, oh, you're so poor. Okay, let me take a picture with you. No, please just help from the goodness of your heart, not because you want to gain likes on social media. Don't do that. Help because you want to help. But anyway, that brings us to the end of our top stories. After the break, we get into our interview segment. Stick around. women are taking over. Well, they have been taking over, and today we're talking Afilende, a web series proudly produced and is featuring Namibians, and we couldn't be more excited to be talking to Sally Jason, who's the producer and director. Sally, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you so very much for joining us
Yes,
today.
thank you for having me.
All right, so starting us off, what inspired you to take on both the roles of director and producer for Afilende, and how did you manage to balance these responsibilities?
Well, I think in the industry that we're in, it's all about multitasking, really, and also budget. Budget
Yes.
didn't allow me to, for us to kind of have a big crew, but it was also because it's my story or my friend and I's story that it just felt right to kind of do both. I am a filmmaker, so producing is one of my roles that I do.
One of the many hats
One
that
of
you
my
wear.
many hats, yeah. And the directing, that was one of my first, so
Okay.
it was quite a journey,
Okay.
if I have to put it like that.
So you said it's yours and your friend's story.
Yeah.
What is that story? What is Afilende?
Well, Afilende is basically a story about friendships. It is, about these 4 women that represent different careers, different personal journeys, different cultures. So it's about friendship, basically, and the role that friendship plays in your life and the role that your friends play in your life. They're like our second family. So it's really basically a look at that, looking at friendship and the role that they play.
Friends are the family that we choose.
Exactly.
Okay, so
Exactly.
what were some of the biggest challenges you faced during the production of this web series? I mean, of course, you did already mention that budget was an
Yeah.
issue. It seems like budget is the song that we always sing in the film
Yeah.
industry. So how did you overcome some of those challenges as well?
Being our first project, I think that was a challenge on its own, to make sure that we leave a mark. I think the other challenge was, besides the budget cut, was how short it is, because it's quite a short series. It's like 10 minutes per episode. So I think the biggest challenge was making sure that the whole story fits into those 10 minutes, and that you as the viewer, you kind of walk away kind of knowing that, how can I say that, you've understood everything, that you've seen the story from beginning to end. So it was really about cramming all of that in 10 minutes. That
Okay,
was really the
so
big
how did
challenge.
you approach casting and assembling your team, considering both the creative vision and practical aspects of
Yeah.
production?
The cast part. Well, it's like sometimes you have your vision in mind,
Yes.
and then when it comes to the reality, it's like a
Like,
bit
very
different.
different. Yeah.
So, but the biggest part is that we didn't want to kind of just lean on one specific tribe or one specific race. So we had that in mind already when we were looking at the audition process. A lot of the, I guess, characters and tribes and cultures that we had in mind, they didn't really fit in, or we didn't really find them. But I think we were quite happy to be able to represent the different cultures in Namibia. So that part wasn't really that hard. It was more just making sure that they look like friends and that they, kind of resonate that on screen, and for people to see, oh, okay, they really do look like best
have that
friends.
chemistry.
To have that chemistry.
Okay,
That's correct.
so as the director, what was your vision for the visual style and the tone of the series, and how did you ensure that this was executed during production?
Well, with the help of our wardrobe, we were helped by a longtime friend of mine. Her name is Katrina Andreas. She's pretty well known in terms of being a media personality and for her style. So we wanted to make sure that, that they look trendy. Because they're like in their early 30s.
Yes.
So we really wanted to make sure that it looks very trendy, looks very bright, in terms of even the locations that we chose. So yeah, lots of bright colors, lots of trendy looks. So that part was easy because of our stylist.
I see.
Yeah.
All right, just to bring us back now to the budget issue. In your role as producer, how did you secure funding and manage the budget to bring this project to completion?
Well, Afilende was fully funded by the Namibia Film Commission. They had a call out last year for web
series.
series. Yeah. So we ended up pitching for it and we got it. So that's basically how we were funded. Yeah.
Okay. So what impact do you hope Afilende will have on Namibian audiences, and how do you see it contributing to the local film industry?
Yeah. Well, on a national level, we're definitely trying to push out that, you know, your friends are important, good friends are important, a good support system is important. And in terms of the film industry, we're really just trying to, you know, we're just people trying to tell another Namibian story. We love drama comedy. I know a lot of the genres in Namibia have been quite serious, very drama, very crime. So we kind of just hope that we are able to bring some laughter and also some meaningfulness to people and something that they can resonate with.
Okay. Yeah. So what would you say was the most rewarding moment for you with the series?
I was about to say getting out of the WhatsApp group.
Oh yes, I can relate to that. You know, the many WhatsApp groups here.
Because you know, we always have so many ideas and
Yes.
they never come out. So I think that was the rewarding part, was
Okay.
just my friend and I putting something out, and we're not just talking about it. It's out there, we did it. That for me was the most rewarding part.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how do you plan to distribute the series? I mean, you've already started.
Yeah.
What are some of the platforms that you're using?
Well, we're currently on YouTube. It's doing very well. I think combined we're at like 5,000 or a bit more views. Yeah, so it's on YouTube right now. We're trying to move to TikTok as well, only because we're trying to look at the different audiences that are out there. You know, when it comes to YouTube, it has its own platform. And then when it comes to TikTok, for instance, you know, it's a place where a lot of these viral content happens. So we're really hoping that we're able to kind of catch a different audience there. But overall, we're planning to go to TV. So this is kind of just a start for us.
Okay, okay. Are you, when you say planning to go to TV, would you then be taking it from like a 10-minute per episode web series to maybe?
Definitely.
Okay, you're considering
Definitely.
that.
We need, I mean, we've seen a lot of the comments people have been talking about, you know, it needs to be longer, it needs to be this. So hopefully for TV, for the other seasons, we'll be able to push for 30 minutes, because originally Afilende was 30 minutes, but we had to kind of move it to that.
All right, awesome. Sally, thank you so very
you
much
so
for joining
much.
us
Thank
today.
you.
We look forward to more projects that you have coming our
Yes,
way.
definitely.
And yeah, I think any last remarks?
Any last remarks is, please, when you're going out there, tell your Namibian story. We need more of it. We need people that are able to kind of, you know, create stuff that we can relate to. So if you are a storyteller, please get out of the house and actually do it.
All right, this was Sally Jason, producer and director for Afilende. We'll be right back with more Smell the Coffee right after this.
eTicket, your online ticket solution for events and event marketing, bringing you ease of mind and making sure that your event gets out there. For more information, contact events@nhh.com.na.
Entries are now open for the second round of Republicane's Bridal Couple of the Year competition. Couples married between 1 June and 31 August have until 30 September of this year to enter the second round of the competition. Another one of the top 10 couples will be chosen from this pool to participate in the final, taking place in May 2025. To better your chance of reaching the final, enter now. To enter, simply WhatsApp #bridal2025 to 085 785 6231 and follow the on-screen instructions or scan this QR code.
That's it from us for this week. Tomorrow, Glenora will be taking you through. We are going to be out and about and so forth and so on. From Dinah Master and Aina Rosa Cuello, do have yourselves a fantastic, beautiful Thursday, Friday, and of course, the weekend ahead.